Hi there students, today we're going to talk about how to properly and safely assemble a bassoon. You'll notice that I am seated in a chair and my bassoon is on a table next to me. You'll either want to put the bassoon on a table or on the floor next to you. Never put the case on your lap because you can very easily damage the instrument. So I'm going to open things up. First thing I'm going to do is take my seat strap out and take the little clippy thing, very scientific term, and put that underneath my legs. And the clip will be off to the right. Now, before we get started, I'm going to zoom in and we'll talk about the different parts and the things you need to be careful of. With this instrument, you're going to have a couple of pieces that you need to be careful with. Always look on woodwinds. Keys that run up and down the instrument can get bent very easily, so you never want to grab a hold of those really tight. You don't want to move them side to side. This part right here, we call it a bridge key on the clarinet that adjoins to something on the boot joint. And this part, you're going to have to be really careful to make sure that it lines up with the keys that it needs to on the lower part of the bassoon. And then there's also one on the bell joint as well. Alright, now that we've talked about the keys on the instrument and the different joints, let's just get started here and put this baby together. So first thing I'm going to do, my seat strap is underneath. I'm going to take the boot joint. There's a big circular key on one side of it. That key's called the pancake key and it's used for the lower register of the instrument. I'm going to hold that facing me. Now I'm going to take the wing joint, which is the smaller of the long joints. Be careful of that key that we talked about. We're going to put that into the smaller joint hole here and just very gently twist back and forth. You might need to put some cork grease on here. If you have strings, don't put cork grease on it. Talk to your teacher about it. There's stuff you can use called paraffin wax if needed. But if you're having trouble here, talk to your teacher before you just start making it fit. So again, gentle twist all the way down, and that bridge key should line up right here. You might have guides right here to help you as well. There should be a concave part right here in the middle that is where the other joint is going to line up. They should nestle together very nicely. Now I'm going to take the smaller end of the long joint and put that into the other hole. And again, you want a gentle twisting motion. Notice that I'm not grabbing here, I'm not bending any keys. Then I also have a little adjustment right here where I have a key that sticks down in between the two joints to hold them in place. So usually mine came off. That's okay if they do. There we go. And then these two pieces are locked together. Now I'm going to take the bell, push this key down, and then gently twist these two joints together so that the keys line up. If these don't line up, you won't be able to play in the lower register, so that's really important. The next thing I'm going to do is to get my vocal ready. I'm going to set this just aside for a second. Now I'm going to attach the seat strap. You may need to adjust this a little bit. It should be off to your right. And I'm going to attach the bottom end of the boot to the seat strap. So now my instrument's in place. The instrument always comes up to the left, and it should be to the left of your face, the bell should. Now I'm going to take the vocal and I'm going to hold it here where it starts to turn and gently, again twisting, you put it all the way down. I want you to be careful of this key right here. That lines up with this little nubbin on your vocal. You want to be careful because you can actually tear the pad there if you're not aware of what's going on. So very, very gentle. Always pushing right here, never out here because you can actually bend the vocal and you'll ruin it. These can be very, very, very pricey, so you want to be very careful with that. So here we are, all the way down, and should be lined up and ready to go. Now, I have an issue here with my posture. You'll notice that my vocal goes right into my neck. That means that I need to adjust my seat strap. I'm going to pull it this way underneath my legs so that the instrument is higher. The instrument should always come straight to you. Now, the last thing, and we'll talk a little bit about reeds shortly, but for now, all I'm going to do is take my reed and gently place that on there. And later on we'll talk about hand position, but here you go.